Hey, it's Desert Wings Day, and today you're stuck with me and Tim, or the Beardy Boys.
Ahoy.
Ahoy! Unfortunately, Mr. Morris can't be here today due to health reasons. And Mr. Marley, who is in the chat, I see, is on family duties. You're stuck with us two, young chaps.
Yeah, we'll have to keep the party going.
Well, somebody has to, don't I? We can't all skive off.
Yeah, run out of sick leave.
Yeah. Yeah, Tim tried to get a day off, and I told him to get back to work and stop whinging. He didn't really.
Dobby has not received a sock. Dobby is not free.
Yeah. Yeah. How are you doing, Tim?
Yeah, look, well, mate.
Good.
Just cracking on,
Yeah.
How about yourself?
I'm all right. Yeah, I'm not doing too bad. Tired, but I'm okay. But I'm always tired. It's part of fibromyalgia. Yeah. It's just a life of being tired and in pain. So, yay.
When you put it like that, it sounds really fun.
Oh, yeah. I was looking on Facebook yesterday, and I'm on one of the fibromyalgia groups. And apparently on the pain scale, it's pretty much level with prepared labor. Apparently. I don't know. I've never been in labor, so I have no frame of reference.
Almost as bad as what? Voting for Labour.
Yeah. Yeah.
All right.
Just because you're related to Marley doesn't mean you are Marley.
That's enough of that political talk.
Yeah. We're supposed to be working on desert aircraft today, man. I really need to clean my glasses.
When I want to torture my wife,
switch the overhead light on, and you can just see it reflecting on the inside.
When I want to torture my wife, I go to stroke her face, and then I just put a big thumbprint right on her glasses. She's like, kills her.
See, what you should do is kiss the lens, because then she just has a massive lip mark on it.
See, if I went in for a kiss or something, she'd know something's up.
Oh, because you're not all romantical.
Yeah. She's like, why are you being nice?
Yeah. Come here, darling. Should you crack on with the chat before we completely freak everyone out?
Might as well.
Yeah. Tiff says, "Morning, folks. Hope all are well. Please don't forget to hit the like button on your way in." Absolutely.
JT's in. He says, "Hi, everybody. Hope your dreams take flight." Lol, that is really corny.
Yeah. But hello. Well, where we just skipped to? There we go. Jem says, "Better say hello to those heading in this direction. Hello, you lot. Aha. Hello."
Dreeks in. He says, "G'day, all you beautiful people."
I notice how she skips all her comments now. John says, "Kind regards to all. Enjoy the stream." Yeah. And to you, John.
Mm-hmm. Patrick City says, "G'day, all."
Hello, Patrick. Joe says, "Desert Wings Day. Hello, all. Hope all is well with everyone." Yes, as do we.
JT says, "Please get well, Gary, and our thoughts are with you, John."
Yeah. Joe says, "Hope Mr. Morris feels better. John, hope all is well." It's nothing unpredicted, if that makes sense.
Mm.
It's something he was prepared for.
Mm.
To a fashion.
Julian says, "Pringles Profangle Mikey. Evening, Tim."
Hello, Julian. Julian says, "Afternoon, all."
Go on. What are you thinking?
I just remember we had the corporals mess last night, didn't we? And we were discussing Jim's knee operation, which went well, which is good. But he was a bit out of it on his medication. And Darren Hall said he's going to steal Julian's wheelchair and FedEx it over to Jim to use, and not tell Julian until the morning.
Well, sharing's caring.
Yeah.
Make the NHS go worldwide. David of the Valleys says hello to all and our hosts.
Hello, David. Joe says, so we are going with the Young Bucks today, Mikey and Timmah.
Ooh.
Yes.
They're a wrestling tag team too.
Hell
Two
yeah.
brothers from somewhere in California.
I prefer the Beardy Boys. That works well.
Beardy Boys.
Thanks. Better one, young lads with the beards.
Joe says, JT, right now, if my dreams take flight, all I want is to drink my coffee and go to the bathroom. Come on, dreams.
I think my wife's just come home. Joe says, is Shelfy unwell? I missed the beginning. Best wishes to his Shelfiness. His FND from his strokes has sort of accelerated a little bit, so he's gone to get checked out because it's sort of hit him quite bad today, apparently.
Yeah,
so
he's had
hope
a
feel
big
better
couple
soon, Gary.
Big couple of days, you know.
Yeah, he's had a busy week, hasn't he? So he's burnt himself out.
Yeah, well-earned break.
Yeah.
2 strepsils, no upper body PT.
Yeah, ibuprofen, Red Bull, sorted, mate.
Yeah. From here, disappear. GM says, FedEx a wheelchair to the States. Ka-ching.
Tiff says, Tim, it's Rancho Cucamonga.
It is.
Arriba.
It is. They are the Young Bucks from Rancho Cucamonga. Jules says, note to the kleptomaniacs among us. Happily, I have a spare wheelchair. We'll send that too.
Yeah. We'll send one for each leg.
Yeah.
David says, get well soon, Gary. Yeah, he will. He's a tough old boot, is our Gary. Has anyone heard of Mr. Evans this week? He was in the chat on Tuesday, wasn't he? Well, not heard of him. He's probably busy. Jem says, Tiff, is that a ranch cucumber? Interesting. Ooh, my wife has brought me a coffee. Isn't she good? Hello, wife.
Hi, Michael. You little monkey.
Yes.
Scaring me. I thought someone was whistling at me. I was like looking around. I was like, what? Is someone whistling?
She's walking to the shop, so I wolf whistled out the window. But we've got nets on the window, so she couldn't see who it was.
Oh, jeez.
I had to open the window and we sort of waved to her to let her know because she was like looking around, frightened. Bless her.
JT says, a wheelchair for Stewie Griffin.
Yeah. Yes. Right. Let's crack on with this build.
Why not? I also just realized I have no idea where Rancho Cucamonga is. So I've looked it up.
Yes.
It is between San Bernardino and
New Mexico.
Pasadena. So yeah, NorCal.
Oh, I just realized I've got a stand that I can use. A new stand. Ooh, well excited. Yeah.
Alrighty. Alrighty.
Julian says, one for each leg. They're not roller skates, for fuck's sake. On account of me and the roller skates being an accident looking for somewhere to happen. Yes. JT says, that was a nice picture of you and your wife on Discord, Mikey. Thank you, buddy. And Tiff says, Mum says hi. Hello, Mum.
Hello.
Right. And how is Mum doing today? Keeping Tiff in check, I hope. Because she's a bit of a rebellious spirit. Always causing trouble.
It was good. Did a bit of driving around today in the car.
Ooh.
Got to listen to heaps of music from the 2000s.
Oh, yeah. Back in the good old days.
Yeah. Yeah. I've just accepted that, you know, I'm stuck in my ways.
You're an old man.
Oh, yeah. It's like my For You playlist hasn't changed in years now. And it hadn't really changed since I was in year 11 and 12. So,
see, the only thing that really changes on my playlist is the number of songs that are on it of the same style. So I've started listening to a lot more jazz and things like that now. And classical and opera and things. GM says, hello, Tiff's ma'am. I'm sure she says, hello.
That's Mrs. Modders to you.
Yes, Mrs. Modders. Dieter says, howdy, greetings, konnichiwa, grüß Gott, and hello. And JT says, moin, Dieter. And Tiff says, she's fine, just pottering around before heading to the doctor's. Yeah, there we go, that's a lot better. Fantastic. It also comes with these ones. They're like extra wide ones that you can slide.
Yeah, you've got yourself a little plane holder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Since I ended up doing a lot more bloody planes lately. For some reason.
Feels good, doesn't it?
Well, this is an interesting conversation that came up last night in the member stream because we were asking for ideas for stuff we could talk about today. And one thing that came up with is what has been our favorite models to build and perhaps our worst models to build as well. And I thought that'd be a good question for you because you've only recently started doing this type of modeling.
That's true.
I know it's true. So yeah. So what's your view on that, Tim?
So what's my favorite type of model?
Yeah. What's the favorite one that you've done to work on and things?
It's definitely a plane. I think either my Mustang or the Corsair.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really like doing planes and things.
Yeah.
Particularly 148 because I like World War II fighters the most. And 148 is great for those.
Yeah, it's a nice size, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Like, you know, it's nicely detailed without taking up way too much room.
Yeah.
and there's plenty there to work on. So like, I feel like all my kind of hobby skills get like a little bit of a flex on it, you know, whether it's, you know, painting, you know, residue or oil on the underside, or, you know, having to be neat, painting the wheel wells, different colors and stuff like that. And the decals are there. And I feel like you have a lot of flexibility with aircraft in terms of weathering.
Yeah.
So you can have them crispy clean and, you know, just like technically really tight.
Yeah.
Or you can kind of go a bit nuts and slap around, you know, some shipping and abrasion and, you know, smoke and oil residue and all that stuff. So you got a lot of flexibility. Whereas I find with armor, bearing in mind I've only done 2 tanks, you do sort of have to do weathering.
Yeah.
Otherwise they don't look right.
Yeah.
And I've done 1 ship.
Yeah.
Which wasn't it wasn't not fun. It was it's just tricky to do at that scale, because you want to do little things to make details pop.
Yeah.
But you want to avoid overdoing it, and then, you know, you've got to try and fight the need to do what I did on my first one and put it like on an ocean diorama sort of base thing.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that must be more frustrating for you with being ex-Navy as well.
Yeah. Yeah, it's yeah, ships are tricky, I think. Like, you have to kind of have an interest in the subject.
Yeah.
With ships more so than other models. Otherwise, you aren't going to want to go through the pain of trying to do tiny little rails and, you know, both as guns and all that stuff. Like, it's just too much of a hassle if you don't care about it.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Anyway, to make a long answer short, I like 148 World War II fighters. I think they're a great subject, a great size, and they've got lots of versatility for people in the hobby to kind of make it their own.
Yeah, that makes sense.
What about you?
Ooh, see, I started off and I just love World War I stuff, and I love World War I history. But I'm sort of enjoying everything. The only thing I haven't overly enjoyed is the ships, but everything else I've actually really enjoyed. Yeah, I'm enjoying making that 124 ICM van. So I was making that on the members live last night. I don't think there's anything I haven't enjoyed. Some I've enjoyed more than others, but
yeah.
It's like I love doing the Whippet when we first started and the Mark V. But I also enjoyed doing the Sea Fury and the Beer Barrel Spitfire and things. Which is weird because, 1, I wasn't into Airfix when I first started, and 2, I wasn't into planes. And now, apparently, I like both. Because gits.
Yeah, planes kind of sneak up on you a little bit.
Yeah. Jem says, greetings, Hagrid. The kits you will be sent when I head to Oz next week. Daughter is in China filming a movie, hence nothing has been sent yet. Ooh. JT says, in Gryffindor, is there pottering around? Probably. JT, can you do bullet holes on planes? Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. On that little diorama I did of White 5, getting shot down. I painted a couple of bullet holes in the fuselage. That was a little 172 scale Bf109.
Yeah, that was a good model. A well-deserved winner, I think.
Thanks, man.
Thinking of doing more competitions for the Corporals Club at some point as well. Corporals Mess.
They are fun. I think I said this at the time, but like I'm new enough to the hobby that when I have an excuse to do anything new, I kind of jump at it.
Yeah.
Because
you're willing to try everything.
Yeah. Well, it's also like another part of the hobby that I don't know if anyone really talks about explicitly in any great depth, but I think it would be hard to do scale modeling if you didn't really care about history. But there's plenty of fighters and things that I knew very little about or know very little about, and it's an excuse to kind of hit the books and troll the web a little bit and learn stuff.
I've got loads of World War One books. I've got an entire bookcase just full of World War One history books. And most of the time, whilst I do read them, most of the time I'm working on something and I'll go, oh, I know I've got a book that talks about that, so I'll go and check that first. Maybe do a bit of background research on it.
Yeah. So there was a book called Aircraft Anatomy, which I picked up. And, it's just... I showed it on stream the other week when I was looking at the 110, because I noticed there was a little intake on this engine that isn't present on the port side engine, and it's the supercharger inlet. And the reason they don't have it there is because it's actually like outboard and on the wing on this one. And I only know that because I looked at the diagram where it's got, a whole bunch of the internal things listed and all that. So yeah, it's just a little pipe for the supercharger that goes into the engine on the aft port side. So yeah, it's cool. But so it's almost like it's a research assignment every time I do something. So it's like every plane I've built up research, isn't it? Yeah.
Not that me and you need excuse like
that. Yeah. Well, it's good because, like, when you're building something, and you see like a weird shaped piece or something to specifically kind of separate it from another piece, or why are there two slightly different versions of this component?
Yeah.
You go and do some reading. Oh, because if I want to make this version of it, it used this scoop. Or like on the Mark 12 Spitfire, like why it had like, clipped wings, or had to have like the extra bulges on the cowling, because like there's a different engine, and why the exhausts were different, like different placements between like Spitfires and some of the like the German planes, for example, like Bf109, and some of the engines are just completely flipped ass about, and it's just stuff that if you don't know anything about planes, it's just you wouldn't really think about it.
Well, and there's a really good series about that at the minute on YouTube. We Have Ways of Making You Talk YouTube channel. They're doing a Battle of Britain series where they look at the different aircraft and talk about the pros and cons and stuff like that, and the developments and stuff, and the tactics and how they changed, and how the tactics between the Germans and the RAF, sort of how they interact with each other and why one was more effective than the other and things. It's really good. GM says, I've borrowed a phone and its spell checker is just as bad. It doesn't like spelling Japanese words. English is no betterer. Jem says, JT, yes. JT says, modeling a B-17 that came home with most of a tail shot off is interesting. It is. It's different. Joe says, just got notified of a delivery, ordered 2 PBY Catalinas by Academy. One is a black cat and a Timmah Hellcat. Timmah, have you soldered PE? I asked yesterday. He did.
Oh, sorry, Joe, I must have missed that.
You weren't on the member stream, that's why.
That
That
would explain that. Yeah.
You
Yeah,
weren't
that's
there.
right. Yeah, went live at about 5 a.m. my time. So yeah, you'll have to forgive me.
No, we won't. You're wrong.
Yeah, bold of you to assume I have to do anything.
Yeah.
No, I haven't soldiered PE. Again, I had the one sort of outing with it, which was a pretty involved outing, but nonetheless just the one. But I got by just with CA glue.
Yeah.
Because like when that makes its bond and stuff, it can be kind of crispy anyway. But yeah, I just kind of CA glued it and then gently sanded any kind of over glue, and that seemed to almost function as a little bit of a gap filler anyway. But no, I haven't soldered anything other than electrical components.
Yeah, same here. Joe says, an older gent I follow, he says it's a stronger bond. Well, it will be, won't it? It's similar to welding.
Yeah.
Yeah. Metal rather than.
Yeah. No issue believing that. Yeah.
Yeah. JT says, Mikey, got all 3 masks stepped on my Twisted Sister. Twisted Sister is looking better than the original kit. Excellent. Julian, with regards to armor, I think you can weather as much as you like. It could be a new tank from the factory, arid desert, rainy autumn in Europe, 80 odd years old in a museum. Yeah, I quite like armor for that because you can just go to town on it. Because squaddies be squaddies.
That's a very fair point. Like, there's no reason why everything I said about aircraft isn't true about.
I think you have nicer colours on aircraft, generally, especially in World War II and World War I.
There's a bigger range for sure, I think.
Yeah.
And markings and stuff like that.
Especially once you get past the Mark I tank in World War I, it's sort of green, brown, or grey, and that's it.
Yeah. I think where armor really gets into its own is when, and again, I say this as a complete rookie, but when you have the ability to have like crew and luggage and geez, what are they called? Ditching beams, unditching beams?
Yeah, unditching beams.
Unditching beams. Things like that. Like you look at Fury, like the tank.
Like stowage on it.
In the movie that had heaps of stowage and like a big, they look like they'd kind of crudely hacked or knocked down a tree and like lashed a big log to the side, just in case. Like you've got a lot more personalization in that respect that you don't really have with planes. But
those logs sort of serve two purposes really. One is they acted as a little bit extra armor, and two, if needed to, they could unfasten them, take them off, and stick them under the tracks to gain traction.
Yeah, it's one of those things. Like if I was driving a big multi-ton, belligerent, smoke belching over, heat stroke inducing bloody death machine, I'd chuck as much crap as I thought was useful on it as well.
Well, there were some that they actually coated them in concrete to act as a bit to thicken the armor.
Yeah,
and
why wouldn't you?
Hatches and the windows uncovered.
Yeah, You know, like if that's your home and office, you know, like, yeah, ships are a bit different because, you know, you got to secure for sea and stuff like that, and you know, other people might have to come into a compartment, but yeah, you know, if your tank is your responsibility and you have that flexibility, obviously, I'm sure, you know, initially the manual probably said don't do any of that, but sometimes, you know, needs must. But yeah, you got a lot of flexibility with armor models that you can do with that stuff, which is pretty cool. I just don't think I have the skill to pull it off. But
I think you do, because you did it with the Yag.
I didn't add too much to the.
Well, maybe that's your next challenge next time we do a tank.
Yeah.
I think so. Focus on diorama, focus on upgrading the tank.
Yeah.
Timmah style.
There is I actually do want to do a Matilda 2 again. Well, I suppose I could do it with the Matilda 2 that I started. It's not too late to just slap some different paint on it.
Yeah.
But I'd like to do it per Australian, that like when it was used in the jungles.
Yes.
Because on the back where you know you've got the louvers and stuff for the engine.
Yeah.
What they did is because, you know, it's flat, so people would just toss grenades up there, and you could damage the radiators and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think these were the vents, and I think the coolers were behind these ones, I think.
Yeah.
But yeah, they essentially put a like a metal sort of mesh, like offset off it, to kind of stop grenades and stuff falling directly onto the louvers and wedging in.
Yeah.
Because, you know, obviously jungles, and, you know, people can get right up close. But I thought that'd be kind of nifty. And then do stuff like, you know, modify the little doorbell on the back with the phone that the Australians had put on. Like they'd actually upgraded it with a phone so they could talk to inside.
Yeah.
But
we need to catch up with chat. There's loads of it.
Yeah, sorry, man. I'm bloody waffling.
That's fine. David says, I did prefer armor in 135th and aircraft in 148th, and now enjoying the Type 45 destroying 1350th. Nice scale, as I found 1700th a bit tricky. Yeah. GM says,
don't mind me, I'm just mute for a minute.
JT says, that's major work there. I know the aircraft you were talking about. Bullet holes in 1/72 are tiny. 1,000 to 2,000 inch drill. Yeah. David says, yes, that was funny, Mikey. And yes, that was a very good model diorama, Tim. Yeah. JT, the B-17 came back from sortie, shot up. I was amazed in seeing that. Yeah. Jim, hello, everyone. Hello, Jim. How's my little stone friend? JT says, too bad you couldn't get a figure on the Twilight Zone wing gremlin. JT cannot. Cannon shells will rip aircraft to bits. Whole panels will tear off, leaving massive holes. Yeah. JT, using drills, styrene, and soldering iron might be a way to make the damage. Yep. That's generally how you do it. JT, a Dremel used on the inside of the plastic to thin the plastic. Then tinfoil makes excellent tall metal look. Yeah. Bob says, hi all, late to the party. Hello, Bob. JT, Gary, you can mangle PE too. Patrick, I picked up the Rel 172nd Blom and Voss BV222 the other day, a kit I've been after for a while. Nice. I got the Hobby Boss version of it. Jem says, JT, you can put PE can disintegrate. Can. Ian says, hello to all. Hello, Ian. Gino, and hello to everyone in chat. Hello, Gino, and happy birthday, buddy. Ian says, happy birthday, Gino. Jem says, Bobby, hey, you feeling better? JT says, Gary, when I hear disintegrate, I think of Daffy Duck as Duck Dodgers is the 24th and a half century. There we go. JT, the disintegrating pistol. Lol. Julian, there's a word for stuck static tank. That word is target. We call it beer opportunity in the Remy. Gino says, hello, Timmy and Mike. Hello, buddy.
Hello.
Everything all right, Tim?
Yeah, man, just a call from my brother.
Yeah.
So,
Bob's,
just keeping me up to date.
Yeah, no problems. Bob says, hi, JT. Years ago, had the bright idea of using real bullets to create damage. One shot from a 2-2 was catastrophic, and the scale was wrong even at 1/24th. GM says, JTP is weakened by the acid process. It can do anything not expected. Yeah. Bob says, GM, not worse, which is good enough. Gino says, a year older, Julian, but I'm okay. Julian says, Bob, explosive cannon rounds. Go for it says, hello. Hello, go for it. JT says, Bob, thinking of Sean Connery, most things here don't react well to bullets. Yes. Julian, happens to us all, Gino. In the game of life, I'm on level 55. There we go. Gino says, I won't be here for the whole stream today because my kids are coming over to eat some cake for my birthday. Lovely. And Gino says, yep, me too, Julian. Also 55 now. JT, Timmah, does the doorbell in the back of the tank say ring for service? They probably did write stuff like that around it.
Yeah. Call for a good time. Yeah, stuff like that.
Bob says, Julian, did we have them in World War II? Damage being inflicted to a Bf109, I messed up. GM, Bobby, I used an air rifle 177 on the Airfix Sunderland, be equivalent to a 105-pound howitzer shell. Duke says, happy birthday, Gino. JT says, would the fascination of static tanks be a static cling? I have no idea. Julian, with regards to battle damage, I think you can use a heated pinprick for bullets, push it in, and wiggle it for cannon rounds. I also have a soldering iron on account of me and naked flames being a bad idea. And Patrick says, happy birthday, Gino. And JT says, Julian, I hear 55 and think of Sammy Hagar. There we go. Whew. Out of breath. I'm lightheaded from all that.
That's a good rip through.
Thank you, bud.
Alrighty. So, do you have a favorite kit?
Ooh, good question. Do you mean out of what I've built or kit that I'm in just any kit, out of any kit?
Yeah, let's say that you've built that, like you've had experience with.
Okay. Ooh, that's a tough one. Because I enjoyed doing the Australian chieftain. That was fun. Sorry, the Australian centurion. That was fun. I enjoyed doing the Sherman. I enjoyed doing them all. But say my favourite one is probably Sea Fury maybe, but don't tell John that. Or the MHAR Mark V that I did. Because even though that's the simplest kit to build, I really enjoyed how it turned out. Even though I haven't done any weathering on it yet.
Nice.
Yeah. Excellent. What about you?
Let's see. I think. You know, in terms of like just enjoying putting it together, I think the SAS Jeep by Timmah.
Yeah, that was fun.
Like, I like how kind of easy it is to kind of bang together, but it's got its little quirks, and it really is what you make it.
Yeah. I think in terms of paint scheme, my favorite one's been the Jag Panther, because I've loved being able to experiment with new scheme on that I've done, and I loved how when I first did the scheme, it did look a little bit ridiculous, like a Christmas present wrapped up.
Yeah.
But once it's weathered, it looks perfect. It looks brilliant, I think. Now that it's weathered and stuff. I've also put the snow on the diorama now.
Oh, nice. Can't wait to see that tomorrow.
Yeah. Where the mud is, it's sort of made the snow go like a yellowy colour, so I've got to spray it white.
Yep.
But other than that, it looks all right. I've got to put... what I've been doing is through the week is spraying PVA over it just to try and set it.
Yep.
So I've got to put poster on the side wall of the shop, put some more stuff down on the snow. I've painted the figures. I've done the lighting in it. So now I just need to do the fruit and veg crates in the shop. Do some more weathering on the tank, put some snow on the tank. So, yeah, that should be fun.
That'd be pretty cool.
Gino says, thanks everyone for the birthday wishes. And he says, only 10 more decals on the Corsair, Mikey. Nice. I don't think I've done anything with more than 10 decals on it. JT says, do rude planes strut about on the runway? I would not know. Gina says, and then some paneling and weathering, and then finally finished. Nice. Do I put the undercarriage on now or later? Because I can always paint the undercarriage separate, can't I? And it'd make it easier for when I'm painting, because I can just blank out the wheel wells.
Oh, are you just talking about like the landing gear themselves?
Yeah.
Yeah, I normally I normally leave them off.
Yeah, to the last minute.
I think, yeah, just because like you're either going to knock it or press on it while you're masking, or you're going to do something and snap a strut. Or at least I always do, because I've got cursed with these ham hocks. Oh, passion fingers.
I've just had a very interesting message off Mr. Childs saying, if he sends me a kit and some diorama stuff, can I make him a diorama for next year's M4H display? Or for an M4H display. So I'm dreading to think what he sends me, because he's told me I've got to open it on stream as well. What is it? I'm dreading to think what it could be. I'm also excited to think what it could be.
Imagine if it's just a bulk pack of like 5,000 paddle pop sticks, and he goes, I need 600 porta potties built.
Oh, that would
outhouses rather, not porta potties.
That would well impress Gary, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Says, JT, not planes, but rude pilots do. Yeah, I like watching some of those videos where the pilots end up arguing with air traffic control. JT says, model plane strut about on the runway. There we go. That's some strange trains of thought there, JT. GM says, JT, rude air traffic controllers are rude. The Chicago ATC comes to mind. Yeah, that's the one that seems to pop up a lot in the videos on YouTube as well. JT says, I think of planes in Chicago and my mind goes to aeroplane. There we go. GM says, JT, it's a yelling game with them. CAA and FAA get involved and it's yelling all around. Yeah. David says, that could be very interesting, Mike. It could. Like I said, I dread to think what it is because he's not told me what it is. He's also going to get the treasurer. He's trying to get the M4H treasurer, which to come on a live stream and chat about how the finances work for Models Heroes in terms of tools and things, and in relation to the fundraiser, which should be good. So it might be that, she says that I can do this. She might tell me on the Thursday, or I can do this Friday. So I had to sort of change the stream a little bit at the last minute.
Mm-hmm.
Which is fine because everyone else can carry on working on the models. Doesn't bother me.
He said, bothered.
Speaking of which, we haven't spoken about the fundraiser yet. We've had another £10 donated, so we're on 360 now.
Well, hey.
Which is good. The 26. Yeah. So I put, for those on Facebook, I did put a post about it up on Facebook. So please do share that, especially if you've got other scale modelers on your channel, on your Facebook page and stuff. Because the more people see it, the better the chances are of raising funds to help Models for Heroes. Especially if if you're quite friendly with other scale modeling YouTubers and things. I mean, I'm not sure. I think Callum's usually in on Friday, but he's usually pretty good with stuff like that. Yeah. Joe, I need to email Moz as well. Joe says, regarding Mr. Evans, maybe his limo took the wrong turn returning him home. Never got the back cave. Ooh, I hope it's not a helicopter crash or something. But I'm sure his SAS protection squad would have kept him safe. JT says, surprised nobody picked the Italian Air Force. Macchi, Fiat, Piaggio, and Reggiane. Look cool. Cool looking planes. Okay. I've just butchered the Italian language single-handedly. But hey, who cares? They're not backwards in coming forwards, and they're certainly not forwards in going backwards. Julie says, what is funny sometimes is a passenger on a commercial flight listening to ATC in the pilot, channel 1 on the headphones. Pilot in Chicago sent by ATC the wrong runway, delaying takeoff by 30 minutes. Yeah. I didn't know the passengers could listen to the pilot and ATC comms. Pilot's comments, shit. Yeah. I imagine it was. I'm really liking this base sanders at the minute. They're really handy.
Oh, yeah.
Especially like the high grit ones, like the 1500s and things.
Yeah, I think because a lot of the stuff that I use these sanding sticks for, like I really use them. Like there's almost nothing left, so I pretty much only really use them for polishing.
Yeah.
But occasionally I tear off a little bit of sandpaper, and I'm always like shocked at how much material it removes when there's actually grit on there.
Yeah. Yeah, well, these ones, it comes in a pack, and you get quite a few. I mean, they're only thin strips like that, so there's quite a few of them in that pack. But you get 400 to 1,500 in this one.
Oh, wow.
And then in the other one, I got you get 1,000 to 2,500 grit. So you can proper, polish things and stuff. Sand and polish. JT says, Julian, then there are some things you might not want to hear. Yeah, like, oh no, help. Or, we're going to die. Tiff says,
my co-pilot is drunk again.
Yeah. Put that bottle of whiskey away. Tiff says, no, Mikey, they're really sandy. Emoji laugh, emoji laugh. There you go. Julian says, to be honest, that was 25 years ago. They might be blocking passengers here in the flight deck since 9/11. Yeah, probably. I mean, it's probably not a good idea. James says, Chicago O'Hare is a big airport. Too easy to get lost tracking on ground to and from active runways. Yeah. Not that I've ever been to the States. I was meant to go to Florida on holiday when I was 19. But then I got sent on pre-deployment training for Iraq. So didn't get to go. I had to get a refund. And my family went without me. Fines. But Karma got them because they went on a ride on Universal Studios and the ride broke down whilst they were halfway through. So apparently they were sat there for 4 hours. Julian says, JT, you mean like things like wheels? We don't need no stinking wheels. Alrighty then. JT says, someone like Johnny working the tower. Rapunzel, Rapunzel. Yeah. So, what is everyone working on today other than Tim? Because I know what he's working on. Yeah. When the Grand Fromage sort of messages you and says, if I send you this stuff, can you make it me? You don't say no to him. You sort of say, yes, I will make time in my schedule. Because it'll help M4H. Jem says, passengers can listen to the ATC, but it's only for those keen on fast-talking coded talk. Yeah. Waitrose. Afternoon all. Everyone happy? Yes, good show. Carry on. We were wondering where you were, Gary. If you want to come up, you can do. I'm sure you're busy. Busy. Oh, I put glue on that and bloody haven't cut the part out yet. Stupid boy. JT says, Waitrose, hope you are well today, sir. And David says, hello, Gary stuff, and a rubber glove wave. This is rather quiet today, isn't it, without John here?
Yeah.
I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. It's just
well, I'm being on my best behavior. I only made one joke about politics, and it wasn't even US. It was Australian.
To be fair, they are a joke. Gene says, Jem, is that on a passenger audio or if they have a radio on the right frequency? Yeah, I don't think they'll let you take a radio on to listen to comms. Julian says, afternoon, Commander Morris. I think you'll find that's Commander Evans to you, sir. JT says, there is something on the wing. Yes. As long as the wing's there, that's what's important. Jem says, Mikey did see very briefly the three blokes with beer at Telford. Yes. We had a Camden Pale Ale. It's very nice. Which is unusual because I don't normally like pale ales. Dave says, me, it's my Trumpeter Type 45 HMS Daring. The waiting on the HMS Dragon Decals from Alex Mann of MMM or There you go. That's what we can call him. Instead of MMM, we'll call him June says, that's what I was thinking, Mikey. I saw Alex Mann actually at Telford. He's a lot shorter than I expected. I felt tall next to him. I'm beginning to think that maybe I'm not as much of a short ass as I thought. It's just that the people I hang around with tend to be taller than I am.
I wonder if anyone's ever worked out what the average height of a scale modeler is.
That'd be interesting, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I imagine sitting slumping over a desk all day. It's probably going to affect those results over time.
Oh, yeah. Well, like, I've noticed that, you know, being 31 now, my bones have ceased being made of rubber and magic and actually get stiff over time. And I found being hunched over, like you said, painting with things like this and my shoulders all pinched together. I've had to work out how to crack my sternum.
Yes.
Because that gets stiff, which, is a uniquely crap experience.
Yeah, well, that's one problem I have quite a lot because costochorditis is a part of fibromyalgia. And that's where the, the cartilage between the sternum and the ribs.
Yep.
Where that becomes inflamed and the bones lock up. So I have to crack my sternum quite a lot. That hurts. But it literally feels like the ribs are popping back into place, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Really weird.
Like how it's just pressure relief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you hear it crack.
Yeah.
Wait Rose says, flying over Boston once in about 1995, heard the controller apologize for not replying quickly to the pilot checking in because his 40-year-old radar was on the fritz. Comforting. Yeah, that'd be a solid no from me. Double knotting the old seatbelt. June says, and yes, Evans, not Morris. Yes. Duke Timmy, 148th, 172nd, or 132nd. Ooh.
Yeah. I'm a 148 guy. I've only built the 172, which was the Bf110 for the diorama.
Yeah.
Which was fun because I didn't feel bad about taking risks and damaging things and, trying new stuff.
Yeah.
Whereas on a 148, I probably wouldn't be brave enough to risk that work. And for me, 132 is just a bit... it's a bit big for what I've got room to store and enjoy,
Yeah.
But
one interesting topic that came up at Telford was maybe trying different sizes of tanks and things. So maybe instead of 135 or 116th, do someone making a 124th. And one of the things that somebody pointed out was that the bigger something is, the harder it is to make it so that it doesn't look like a toy. Because it requires a lot more detail.
Yes. Yeah, and because like you start looking for things like, why isn't there dirt accumulated here? Or, they couldn't have washed under here. Why isn't that caked full of mud or something?
Yeah.
But, on the smaller scales, you don't really look for that. So you got to be...
it's got to be bob on it.
Yeah, I think again, I haven't done this scale, but doing miniatures and things like that, yes, gotta, like, to my mind, you'd be pushing your highlights and stuff a little bit more and having like a little bit more contrast in your colors. Just so like the model's a little easier to read. But yeah, you know, so like your style, I think, would have to change up a bit, but you kind of get forgiven on some of the finer details.
Yeah. Where did it go? D29. Yeah, it'd be an interesting challenge, actually, I think.
Yeah. I would still love to do, like, there's so many little challenges and stuff that I want to do. So I do want to do a fighter with, you know, like an engine exposed and, you know, like the guns, that like the hatches open for reloading and, you know, all that sort of stuff. Like it's going through maintenance. That would be really cool. Yeah. And I'd love to do a full interior tank with cutouts and stuff like they do in the museums.
Yeah.
You know, like, you know, paint those like cutout sections, you know, with the red, like fill it in and paint red.
Yeah.
You know, like just a miniature version of how they are at the museum. That would be a fun thing to do.
Would. I mean, if you can find an STL, we could always ask Gary if he can do it in clear resin, like do the side in clear resin. Well, it wouldn't be perfectly clear, but it would still look pretty cool, I think.
Yeah, I really need to dial in because I have a 3D printer.
Yeah.
But I had a couple of failures and had to change the FEP screen.
Yeah.
And, you know, it's just a lot of work. Like when there's a failure and you got to get in there and get all of the resin out and then clean and blah, 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 blah. And then have you knock something, you got to re-zero. And yeah, I've been sort of, a little bit defeated with it. But I need to get back on the horse with that and just dial it in and keep going. Yeah. It is an unfortunate habit of mine that if I'm not if I don't kind of like if I don't kind of nail it in like my first maybe 2 attempts, I get shirty with it. And I'm like, man, stupid thing anyway.
Yeah.
I'm still immature like that, but
fashion.
yeah, it's not good. Like I know it's stupid, but
to be honest, I don't think we ever grow out of
that. No, it's just I've never liked being. It sounds silly to say, but I've never liked being bad at things. I've never been okay with it. So I tend to just if I can't get better at it pretty quickly, I'll find a reason to just never do it again. You know, it's a good thing about like the hobby though is like go learn a different skill and you come back and kind of fresh and you come back at it.
Yeah. Look at it with fresh eyes.
Yeah.
Joe says the average height of a scale modeler, just take out Julian and JT. Yeah, they are sort of well outside the bell curve.
Yeah.
JT says, like me fitting in an MG or Austin Healey. Yeah. Jem says, Julian, it depends on the airline. We allow both passenger headphones to use ATC channel and handheld units with headphones. We close that channel if things get pear-shaped. Yeah, I think the last thing the passengers need to hear is, oh my God, we're going to die! Down the radio. Julie says, Mikey, you're not a short ass. Mind you, from an actual short ass at 4'8", who has to look up to everyone, that opinion is not really representative. Fair point. Duke says, Timmy, that was a question for the average height of scale modeler.
Oh. Ha. Yeah, okay. Sorry, mate. That went straight over my head.
Just let me glue this bit in. Because I've just realised that there's probably need to at least line the undercarriage up. Before Duke says, leaving the building now. Tweezers. What's that?
Lemon mint pasty.
Ooh. I can't really have it right now. Okay. She's bought me a lemon mint pasty. Ooh. Sounds delicious. June says, Joe, you want the interquartile range for modeler height? Aye, that'd be it. Just make sure the wheels are still on it when you're finished.
This might be a bit of a hot take. I hate interquartile range. I like having all the data points on there.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you just have a disproportionate number of freaks that drag your bell curve up to 7'3", then kind of so be it. We can laugh at the little dots on the graph and be like, oh, that's just wrong.
Look, you are abnormal.
Yeah. I like to quantify things so I can justify my bullying of my friends.
Gino says, for planes, I like 148th. For military trucks and tanks, I like 135th. Yeah. I don't think I've ever done any military vehicle above 135. Oh, I've done 124 for Land Rovers.
I will say that that Messerschmitt 109.
Yeah.
That's going to be in 124, wasn't it?
Yeah, the new Airfix one.
Yeah.
I tell you what, it does look beautiful, mate, when it's built.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. The Bf110 has been my favorite fighter since I was a kid. Since I learned how to say Messerschmitt. And part of me is, I think what it is you might not believe this, I've always been a bit of a contrarian. So
really?
when people yeah, right?
You do surprise me there, Tim.
Yeah, I know, right? So when people are like, oh yeah, our side was Spitfires, it's like, oh yeah, tell me who we were against. It's the Messerschmitt. Yes, the Messerschmitt.
Kay calls it a shisha shit.
Yeah, that's probably how I started off pronouncing it. Yeah. But no, I think that will be a kit that I'm gonna get.
Yeah,
I think because it looks bloody nice is the thing.
I'll tell you what is a nice kit as well, because that's the point. I've got the 124th Harrier. That's quite a nice kit. It is big, it's big. Certainly bigger than the new 109.
Oh yeah.
But yeah. JT says they couldn't have washed under here. Laugh out loud, Timmy. Who was it that said the other day that they have a 124th Harrier pilot in their stash? Can't remember. Was it TBG or something? See, Patrick says I'm working on the Brewster Buffalo. Ooh. Ian says JT, I'm 5'7" on a bad day. Those MGs and Austins are too small for me. JT says Ian, and Austin Healey feels like those cars at Disney World. One of my uncle's hobbies is restoring old cars. So what he does, I remember once he bought an MG Roadster and did it all up and everything. And he let me sit in it, and I had to sort of put my hands on the floor on the drive and sort of back into it with my legs. I couldn't crouch down that low.
Yeah.
It was ridiculous. He got in it fine because he's only like 5'4", but it was absolutely tight. And getting out, I sort of had to walk out on my hands and then stand up.
Yeah, that's how I decided that I'd get into cruiser motorcycles, not sport bikes.
Yeah.
Anymore, because I went from riding a Ninja to jumping on my mate's Triumph speed triple, and had my ankles just about under my bum.
Yeah.
And I was like, wow, I didn't know I could have this much pain in my knee. This is uniquely horrible.
Yeah. Well, I had an MG Rover ZR, which wasn't too bad because you weren't sort of pretty much sitting on your belly with your feet up behind you.
Yeah.
But yeah, they're not. It's not the most comfortable. But I tried riding my dad's Triumph Tiger. And Triumph Tiger, yeah. And Triumph Thunderbird, sorry. Because I had to put it in the garage and stuff for him now and again. And it just felt really weird having my feet out in front of me riding a motorbike.
Yeah. Once you kind of get used to it, it is nice. But you can't really grip the tank with your thighs the way you do on a sport bike. Yeah. Like it's a lot more in the butt.
Yeah.
But yeah, I just find them a lot more comfortable. Although speaking of Triumph, I do really like the Bonneville Bobber. That's nice looking bike.
Yeah. Well, when he had to take his bike in for a service, they lent him a Triumph Bonneville, and I had to go riding it, and it was a nice little bike. I mean, it is a small bike, but it was pretty nice to ride. Julian says, wait, take out as in shoot Joe? That seems a tad extreme. No. We do not condone violence against Joe. We like Joe. Even if you don't, Julian. Dorkosaurus says, good morning, peoples. Hello, Dorkosaurus.
Ahoy.
David says, I have an RFM Tiger 1 full interior, and they provide the cutout hull and turret for if you wish to show the interior or not. Sweet.
Ah, nice.
There you go. There's an idea for you, buddy.
Haven't done a Tiger.
What the hell is going on with this? This can't be right. Yes, it can. Stupid boy. There you go. Oh, shit. Right, that there. There you go. Kind of. June says, no, we don't grow out of it, Mikey. I have a muttly attack at things that go badly. Yesterday, for instance, Rassen, Frassen, Rotten, Masking. For me, it's usually, for fuck's sake. I realize I'm going to be 38 next year, so I'll be 40 in 2 years. Oh, no.
JT says, like Walking Dead, where they are on a plane. I remember that clip. Jim says, missed the start of the live stream. Where are the rest of the on-screen hosts?
So,
you want to?
Yeah, sorry. Mr. Marley is attending to family duties due to foreseen circumstances, shall we say. We won't go any more into it than that because it's private family business. And Gary is under the weather. His what is it? R&D, is it? Not R&D. Where? FD. FND, that's it.
FND.
Neurological disorder. There you go. That's playing up, so it's sort of knocked him out for the day, so he's resting, hopefully.
Yeah, a bit of well-earned rest after a big week for Mr. Morris.
Yeah, he's been a busy lad, and he's been on the BBC and everything this week, so famous. Do you want to take that one, Tim?
Those pasties are really nice, Mikey.
Nailed it. JT says, Julian, I liked Dick Dastardly. I'm so glad I said that. Liked, right? I didn't say licked. Because that would have sounded so different.
You were also nice and quick on the dastardly. If you stumbled on that word, that would have been a bit awkward.
Yeah. JT says, Tiff, do you have Pop-Tarts? No, she always walks like that. I got taken out. Naughty modders. No biscuits for you. James says, Mikey, haha, we close the ATC channels when the language gets fruity. If we have a heavy landing coming up, we tell everybody. Brace, brace, brace. Just to cause a little bit of panic. Achtung, Achtung. It is going to crash. Brace and take crash positions. Julian says, bell curve or bell end? Well, depends who you're describing there, Julian. Joe says, no, Julian, leave out. Sorry, the live stream wouldn't be as fun. I agree. I think everyone that's here makes the channel what it is. And I appreciate you.
Better or worse. Yeah.
Yeah, Tim.
Yep.
Jim says, Gino, those are my two scales, Gino. 48th aircraft and 35th armor. Not much outside that. I think, here's an interesting one. 176, I'm not keen on doing them generally, but I think they have a place in my modeling stash because they're really good for your mental health in terms of if you're really struggling, you can sit down, grab a box that hasn't even been started, and within 12 hours, have a finished model that looks really nice. So you get that sense of satisfaction quite quickly, whilst also having something to focus your mind on and distract you from whatever's going on in your head. So they're quite a handy tool.
That is how I feel about the 172. Like, I've got this just sitting next to my desk, and it's almost like a break glass in case of emergency.
Yeah.
So
you
sort of
need
kit,
that
like,
when you have a kid.
Yeah. You know, like, it's just great. Like, look at that. It's adorable. Yeah. Like, well, I've got, just slap it together, and then because I enjoy painting, so sometimes I just want to build something quick, but you know, lazy.
Yeah, I've got 176 Bedford. I've got the Bond Bug, the Spitfire, the Tiger, and the Sherman up on the shelf. So that if I need to, I can just grab one and just build it. And it's because it's not a scale that I'm particularly fussed about. I can do what I want with it, just have fun.
Yeah, exactly. Like you're not having to put, 2 days worth of like planning sub-assemblies and cleaning parts and blah blah blah. You can just kind of rip through it and just have the satisfaction of doing something, knowing that, like, it's like a day build.
Yeah.
Like, it's good.
Exactly. It's good.
Is done. Is good.
Yeah. Ian says, yes, JT and Julian. D. Dastardly and Muttley were my favourite characters in Wacky Races. Yeah. Julian says, mind you, Joe, I bet modders wish his StreamYard had a stun setting sometimes. Yeah, I can guarantee that. Ian says, It was TBG with the 124th pilot. Ah. Okay. GM says, God, my brain's doing weird things today. GM says, Jim, 1-to-1 scale is best. Ha ha. June says, no, oh, shit. Come on, brain. JT says, Julian, us wearing shock collars for us saying bad things. That could be fun. Some of us would be shocked the entire stream. Modders would go mad with power if we did that. Julian says, one TV program the other day had an Austin 7. The presenters could just about squeeze into it. Yeah. It'd be like that episode of The Simpsons where they go to therapy and they're all just zapping each other because it's fun.
Yeah. I'm trying to think back to Psych. What was it? The Stanford prison experiment?
Yeah. Oh, God, yeah, that was an interesting one, wasn't
it? Yeah. Do the BBC prison experiment where it's just modders just doing a best Emperor Palpatine impression. No.
I think the gardener's here to the garden. 2 seconds, because I'll need to close the window. If it is. Oh, no, it's not. It's a recovery company picking up a car that got smashed into this morning down the road.
Oh, charming.
Yeah, somebody went into the back of one of the cars and it's really smashed this back end in quite nicely.
Okay. Sorry, I thought you meant like they broke into the car and just stole stuff.
No, I think the car must have either been drunk, or the driver must have either been drunk, or they've swerved to try and avoid another car or something and just gone into the back quarter and just bent the back quarter back inwards. Because amateur drivers.
Did you guys ever have that ad about the hard shell and soft shell taco kits?
No.
They're so good. I still say it all the time. Fucking a los dos. It's like, everyone's arguing about like hard shell, soft, soft tortilla, hard shell, soft tortilla. And then there's this like little girl caught between her family arguing, and she just goes, fucking a los dos. And it says, why not both? And everyone goes, da, 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 da. And yeah, it's a great ad, but yeah, whenever anyone offers two options, it's almost like a primal need. I have to say "Por los dos," chuckle to myself, and then see myself out of the room.
Jem says, Timmah, my Suzuki GSX 1400 in sports, but still relatively upright riding. Hard on the wrists at low speed, but okay once at cruise, above 160. Yeah. Well, that's the other thing with the bikes where you lean forwards is your weight's on your wrists, isn't it? So it can be a bit tiring sometimes.
Yeah.
I always used to wear a bandana under my helmet as well because my hair would get caught in bloody fabric inside. It was really annoying.
It's all right, man. You don't need an excuse.
It just looks cool.
Dear diary, I look so cool in my bandana.
I wear bandanas quite a lot in the summer. I find them a lot more comfortable than wearing hats because they soak up more sweat rather than just the hat getting wet.
Well, don't justify it. I'm trying to bully you. It makes it hard when you're making sense. Now I have to suspend my own reason to be able to pick on you.
Yeah, thanks, dude.
So inconsiderate. That's what it is. It's just inconsiderate.
Ooh, we've got 18 watching and 18 likes. That's cool. Yeah. But yeah, I wear them quite a lot. And they're quite handy. And the other thing is, as well, is if you're on a bike and you've got a bandana on, if you have to deal with an accident, you have a way of tying creating a tourniquet and things.
Yeah.
So they're quite handy. Might be a rather sweaty tourniquet, but at least it'll stop the bleeding. Ian says, laugh mass off GM. June says, no, Mikey, I was commenting on Joe saying to take me out and JT from the height stats. June says, Mikey, I'll be 60 in 5 years. Yay. Gem, E&E, head behind instrument cluster above 200, 260 plus, looking about 1 kilometer ahead as it gets tunnel vision. Haha. Yeah. June says, be right back, Kara here. Tiff says, no, not a big fan of Pop-Tarts. JT says, Tiff, pasties? I thought you said pastries. No, pasty. And not the nipple variety. Gino says, I have to go, my son is here. All right, buddy, have fun. JT says, thinking of food. So am I. I'm getting really hungry now. That pasty is looking very good. Gino says, see you guys later. See you later, bud. Julian, take care, Gino, and happy birthday. Yeah. Ian Ellis says, bye, Gino. Jem says, Julian, I'll be 70 in 2 years. Sister counts backwards these days. Joe, I like to work on the 148, easier on the vision, but running out of room, so buying more 172nd planes. Patrick says, I love the OKD 176 Airfix and Matchbox kits. Sorry. There you go. Patrick says, yeah, I've read that one. Tiff says, shock colours would be fun. JT says, we created a monster. Yeah. Duke says, Timmy, you should paint up the Spitfire on the sprue and put it in a frame. That would look cool. Put it over the picture of your child when it's born. The two loves your life. The child and the modelling. Joe says, the old gent I follow, Ron Calvary, working with PE, is 79 and still rides his Honda Goldwing. I sold my Harley Fat Boy several years ago when I was 55 because I was getting old. I'm weak. No, they're just not exactly comfortable bikes to ride, are they? And they're not exactly the best at handling either. JT says, Duke, when telling a rivet counter off, do you say sprue you? Yes. Bob says, bikes in winter, no thanks. I'm now too old for cold. Yeah, I used to ride mine in the snow and everything to go to work. Tiff says, they're pronounced pasty, Mikey, the nipple covers.
Ooh.
Do I look like I use them?
There we go. There we go, Mikey. There's a bandana.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bitchin'.
What's that? That's the
that's on the ship.
Yeah, starboard liquid station.
Ooh. The liquidator. GM says, Joel, keep riding. Stay young. We ride with guys in their 80s. One did turn up still wearing his slippers. Wow. That's a bit sketchy. JT says, pasties with tassels. Duke says, JT or sprue goo? Ooh, I've got a photo of me in a bandana somewhere. That was my bike, though.
You had one in your profile picture for a while, didn't you?
I don't know. Is the answer? Ooh, focus. There you go. That was my bike.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. I resprayed it myself because it was when my dad got it, we didn't realize it was actually the wrong color. Somebody had repainted it the wrong color that was on the logbook, so I resprayed it.
Yeah, when I came off my my Ninja when I was learning, and I rebuilt the the fairing on that and had to put new rear sets on because I'd snapped the stock rear sets.
Yeah.
And then while I was at it, I put bloody LEDs through the fairings and all that. It's pretty cool. But like, it was an absolute P-plater motorbike, you know.
Trying
it's good times. Like, man,
that was cool.
All my schoolmates and stuff. Yeah, there we go. That's the one I was thinking of.
Yeah, I got a few bandanas. Oh, that's me when I lived at my dad's before I got married. How young did I look? When I was in my early 20s. That's when I was in my early 20s. I know that because I got married when I was 25. No, 27. Oh, no, I can't remember when I got married. Don't tell the wife. JT says, Duke, that sounds adult-themed. Joe, yeah, Jem, I might look for a cheaper Japanese bike. I hated taking my fat boy for an oil change and was getting charged $400 to $500. Jeez, wow. I used to just do it myself. Ian says,
I do like the for bikes, the Honda Rebels are nice. Like they've got I think they've got an 1100 now. Like if you like the bigger engine, but like super low seat height. So like they're really, really just comfy, and they're like, you know, they're lightweight kind of flippy bikes. So if you like the kind of cruiser, like very upright, kind of position, they're super, super comfy.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say about that.
Yeah. Ian says, pasties and tassels almost had me spit my brew back in the cup. We do like to do that. Joe says, I did make a mistake, bought a used Yamaha motocross bike at 50 and realized crashing at 50 years old is harder than when I was at 16. Ouch. Yeah. That's luckily, I've only ever done that at low speed. And that was because when I was doing my riding lessons, I was doing a U-turn and I accidentally sort of pulled the accelerator a little bit too much and it threw me off. But I was fine because it was at low speed. Duke says, JT, matron. Jem, riding in snow, yeah, a bit dodgy. Had a few hair-raising moments going into the wrong lane sideways. Yeah. I remember going down a country lane by us, going to my work's office at the time, and the farmer had cut the hedges and left all the leaves on the road, and they were wet. So the back end of the bike went to slide out. And the only thing I could do is stamp my foot on the ground and yank the handlebar up. And I dislocated my thumb doing it. And then I got to the office and I sat there staring at a hand. Boss like, you all right? I went, yeah, I just think I dislocated my thumb. And she went, oh, we'll get you to hospital then. Went, no, it's all right. Crack. There you go. And she just went, because I just relocated my thumb myself. Bob says, is the collecting now for bandanas a bunch? Possibly. Jem says, Mikey, was that a diversion 900? It was a diversion 600, but well spotted. Julie says, back, front, sideways, up, down, middle. There we go. Jem says, Bobby, a fashion show. Haha. Joe says, scariest ride is going 70 miles an hour on a snowmobile. Wild. That's a nice bike, Tim. Honda, very affordable. Yeah.
They're great. I'm a sucker for Japanese motors. You can run sand through them and they keep working. They're just, they're great.
Yeah. They got quite high low tolerances, haven't they? When they were built. So
yeah, like they
can get grit in them and things.
Yeah, they just do the job. It's like a lot of European engineering and stuff, like particularly German engineering.
Yeah,
like they're like
precision.
Yeah, they're like impeccably built. But it means if you miss, a couple of planned maintenance cycles, you're gonna run into trouble. Whereas you can absolutely abuse Japanese engines.
Yeah.
And they just, like they'll hate you, but they'll keep working for you.
Dorksaur says, I wrecked my bike back end of March. Wouldn't doing better than 15 mile an hour, but when you're 51, it hurts. Yeah. What helps with me is I always had armor on as well. So I always had armored jacket and trousers on and boots.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, that's a must. Even up here in Queensland.
Yeah.
Like we call it squidding when you don't wear safety gear. Like apart from, the helmet is legal.
Yeah.
Here in Australia, you have to have a rated helmet, but
yeah.
No. If you don't dress for the slide, they say you dress for the slide, not the ride.
Yeah.
You are a temporary motorcyclist because you will not be around for very long.
Yeah, it always annoys me, especially in summer, when you see young lads riding 125s in shorts, t-shirt, and flip-flops or trainers.
Yeah, yeah. Well,
dude, you realise how bloody dangerous that is.
Yeah, like
all it's going to take. All it's going to take is hitting a little bit of oil or something on the road from a leaky engine or something, that's it. You've took the skin off your hands and your feet and everything.
Yep. Or even if you're doing everything right, sometimes a car just isn't paying attention, and they do something stupid or they've got 4 points of contact with the road. You've only got 2. But like even my arm, right? Like I'm tattooed on my left arm from my wrist to my shoulder.
Yeah,
that's like $8,000 worth of ink.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not gonna leave that on a road because I couldn't be bothered wearing a Kevlar jacket.
Yeah.
It's just dumb.
Yeah. But it's like they go, oh, well, it's too hot. Well, unzip it a bit. Let the air flow over it. In it. Or
ride faster.
Take the lining out. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, the jackets these days are fantastic.
Yeah, I mean,
like most of them have removable liners and open, vent pockets and all sorts.
Yeah. Well, I had Gore-Tex jacket and trousers with armor in the knees and the elbows and shoulders and everything. And then I had Kevlar gloves as well.
Yeah. Yeah, I wear Kevlar jeans, and I always wear gloves are a must because once you've seen someone get
degloved,
you wear gloves.
Yeah.
And boots. I always wear boots that go up past my ankles.
Yes, I always wore my assault boots, my winter assault boots.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Bob says, I still have a Rebel on my patio, only a baby, a 125, but fun. Yeah, I haven't ridden a 125 since I did my CBT course.
Yeah, like my everyday ride is a Rebel 500, and it's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
Like I say to people when they're like, "Oh, you want a bigger bike?" It's like you can kill yourself just fine on a 500. Like it's okay. I don't need a leader bike. It's all right.
Yeah. The question is Katie going to let you keep riding bikes when the kid's born?
Yeah, no, she knows I'm a very safe rider, but I also I'm a fair weather rider. Yeah. So if it's raining or storming or thankfully snow's not really an issue here, but like no, I don't ride.
You don't take risks.
No, not if I can avoid it. Like I have, we're blessed to be in a position now where I have my old car and we have, the family car for Katie.
Yeah.
And then I've got my motorbike, which I haven't been out on for a couple of weeks. But, I don't have to ride in the rain.
Yeah.
I have another mode of transport. So, and I live on the Sunshine Coast where, it's beautiful scenery up in the hinterland and stuff. So if it's a nice day, I'll take the motorbike out and go for a ride up to, up through Mullaney and through the small towns and stuff, and be able to look back at the coast and see like from the hills and stuff all the way out. But I ride for fun, not because I absolutely have to use it to commute every day.
Yeah, one of the things I used to love doing to chill out was going riding down to the beach and just sitting next to the beach with a cup of coffee or something and watching the sunset and things. That was always good fun. It was a good head clearer. Joe says, the thought of riding through the Mississippi back roads is scary with all the deer here. It's the thought of riding back roads around here is scary because a lot of the roads are only just wide enough for 2 cars. So people tend to cut the bends. Because where I used to live with my dad, if you came out of his street, you could either go down the hill to the main coast road, or you could go up the hill and go all up country lanes for about 2 miles. And then you'd head up onto the main dual carriageway. But what used to happen is people cut the bends, and there's quite a few times where they cut the bend that much because obviously they couldn't see a car coming around because the bike's a lot narrower. So they couldn't see a bike. So they just cut the bend, and I ended up with my handlebars going through the hedges because I had to get that close to him to stop from being hit head on.
Yeah, my old man just told me when I started driving, he just said, like, you'll never really have a crash if you just keep an eye on everyone around you.
Yeah,
and just have a plan for them doing the dumbest possible thing to try and kill you.
Yes.
And that's pretty well served me. My whole life on the road. Because, you see some idiot going a bit fast or is being impatient, you can bet they're going to continue being impatient.
Yes.
And so, you just give them a little bit of space and let them go be dumb in front of or behind someone else.
Yeah, especially a police car.
Yeah, right. Yeah, it's never worth staking your claim or whatever for the sake of 2 seconds.
Yeah,
like you'll see them at the next traffic light. So I just laugh at them now because it's like, you're spending so much like emotional energy on a commute. Just chill out.
Well, this is the thing, right? Because I've learned this, especially as a driver over the last 20 years, because I passed my test nearly 20 years ago now. The more you try to rush, the more stressed you are with driving and the more tired you are by the time you finish. So just let the world go by and just let other people do what they want. And you just prepare for the worst.
Yeah, pretty much. Like normally if I need to be somewhere for an appointment or whatever, I just, and this might have just been a habit from defense, but I make sure I'm in location with plenty of time to spare. And then, if I'm in the right place, half hour, 40 minutes early, cool. And just get a coffee, relax,
Yeah,
exactly. Like that, the hard part's done. You've managed to travel 20-something kilometers. You're in the right location. It's just a function of time. Just chill out.
Yeah. At the end of the day, you can always rebook an appointment. You can't, you can't come back to life if you're spread all over the road, can you?
No.
I remember when I was doing deliveries, I'd driving the van through Chester, and Chester City is quite big, busy, and a bus was parked up in a bus stop at the side of the road, and the driver didn't look before pulling out and went straight over the top of a biker that was going along up the side of him. He didn't survive, unfortunately. That was quite sad.
Yeah.
The driver was a right mess, bless him.
That's sort of the thing, right? Like, what are we if not giant tubes of toothpaste? And it's pretty hard to put toothpaste back in the tube.
Yeah. Well, this thing, because when my dad was little, when my dad was younger, he used to ride motorbikes. And he said 2 memories that he's always got from when he was younger from riding a bike was, one, his mate came off the bike in front of him and slid underneath the wheels of a wagon and the wheel went up the length of his body up to his head, and he just went. And the other one was his mate was riding too close to the curb, and a sign took his head off in front of him. And when I heard that, I was like, "Yeah, I'm going to be the best, most careful rider ever."
It's a bit grim, isn't it?
Yeah. It's a dangerous hobby.
Well, yeah. Here's the thing, right? Is there's only two kinds of motorcycle riders, like those that have come off, and those that will.
Yeah.
Like all you can do is hope that when you come off, you can walk away from it.
Yeah.
But yeah, you have to, you wear the right gear, just be safe, be aware of where you are on the road, be aware of what other people are doing.
Yeah.
And then, the sort of thing that really comes down to the individual is whether they have that survival instinct.
Yeah.
Like if a truck is going to do something wrong, probably best you not sit there with your 80 kilos plus, whatever the bike is. Let's say 100 kilos. So you have to just shy of 200 kilos versus 1.5 tons.
Yeah. Well, this is the thing.
Let them do the wrong thing. It's okay. Yeah.
Well, that's what our bike instructor said, is you got to assume everyone on the road is an idiot that's driving a 1.5 ton death machine.
Yep.
Jim says the divvies, I think, were shaft drive. Lovely. Chain drive, mine. Dogsaur says all the gear, all the time. It's the only thing that saved my knee. Yes, absolutely. Totally agree.
Mm-hmm.
June says, when I was I thought June was going to give us a story about him riding a motorbike then. It was raining one day, so I dashed inside. You can dash. Grabbed a pillar to swing down the passage. Floor was wet, so I skidded round it and did a 180. Instead, and ended up back outside. That sounds like a cartoon. Wow, we've got 29 people watching. Don't forget to lube and subscribe, people. Woohoo! And of course, obviously, don't forget about the Tools from Oz for Heroes fundraiser.
Indeed.
Yeah, hopefully we can boost that score and beat last year's total of £1,410. At the minute, we're on 360. And we've got 17 days left to go. Right. Jem says, looking at the new BSA 650 twin as a replacement, the 1400 is awkward moving around in parking bays. Yeah. That was something I always found uncomfortable, was maneuvering bikes backwards. I think that's because of my back and things. Ian says, absolutely, Dorka. Riding without armor kit is not an option for a fun ride. No, it's not. Like we said, if you're too hot, open your jacket a bit and open your visor a click. Yep. Let the air flow through your kit. But don't take it off. Jesus.
Dress for the slide, not the ride.
Exactly. I mean, you're only really going to be hot when you're close, either slow or at a standstill. And then when you're in that situation, you just crack your visor, don't you? Ian says, absolutely, Dorka. Riding without armed kit is not... No, I've just read that one. JT says, how do you start a piston aircraft? Properly, of course. Jem says, chat armor jackets, heavy jeans, armor gloves, good for walking driver windows when they cut across my path. I remember, not that I'll admit this, I'll let me put it this way, right? Someone I know was going down the slip road onto the dual carriageway by us, and as he went to go onto the slip road, a Mercedes, or I think it was Mercedes or BMW, decided to try and match his speed, and so he accelerated. So they accelerated to stop him pulling out. So he slammed on to decelerate, or he slowed down to pull him behind him. He slowed down to stop him. So in the end, he slammed the brakes on the bike and swerved in from the slip road into lane 2, went up the outside and hoofed off his wing mirrors on his nice new car, and then rode off. I'm not telling you who his name was, but it's someone I know pretty close to me. JT says, assault boots. Do electricians wear battery boots? They wear rubber boots. It's like a kinky fetish. GM says, JT, is that a null modem from you? Ooh. JT, deer and motorcycles. You have to worry about becoming the roadkill. Yes. You wouldn't want to get impaled on a deer's antlers, would you? Joe says, yep, Timmah, your father was right. I remember passing a gent in a car and he had his laptop on his steering wheel and typing. What the hell? We used to have a lad I've mentioned this before, in our unit who rigged up a tea tray on the dashboard of the 30-ton recovery truck so that he could put his laptop on it, plug his laptop into the dashboard and watch porn whilst he was driving. Joe says, yep, Timmy, your father... I've just read that one. God damn it, Madish! Joe says that was in Houston.
Yeah, Houston, Joe, I really had to send that email. Stop giving me a hard time for it.
Yeah. Stu says, hi all, just from work. Everyone else on the road is a knob. And I've just witnessed 95% of them in the last 15 minutes. Yeah. There's a lot. I've noticed that driving standards seem to be dropping a lot lately. Kevin says, good day to everyone. Sorry I'm late. It's all right, Kevin. You're here and we appreciate you. James says, advanced rider courses are the best. Phillip Island training is next level for surviving the idiots. Yeah, I would have done my advanced riding course, but one, I didn't have the money at the time, and two, I don't have a motorbike anymore. JT said, advanced rider, then everyone must be primitive riders. Yeah. My dad paid for my motorbike course license.
Yeah. Defense would actually pay for us to go and do advanced riding courses when I was at Sydney.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people rode because of the scarcity of parking at Garden Island at Fleet Base East.
Yeah.
So yeah, they actually invested in their people. It's something that I'll never knock them for. But yeah, they put training courses on for motorcycles. Very good.
Yeah, well, they used to do motorbike training in British Army and stuff, but then just after I passed basic training stuff, I did my driver's license, and they said, "Oh, if you want to do your motorbike, we'll do your motorbike." And then the orders came down that, "Oh no, we're not doing motorbikes anymore. We're only doing the Army's getting rid of the motorbikes and replacing them with quad bikes, so they don't need a license." It's like, "Oh, great, thank you." So, yeah. So I ended up. My dad got made redundant, and he came downstairs. He said, "Fancy coming to Pro Bike to have a look at how much CBTs are and stuff?" I said, well, "What's the point?" I said, "I can't afford to do it." And he said, "Well, I've got my redundancy, so if you want, I'll pay for you to do your license." I was like, "Okay, let's go." Because in the UK, you can't just do your license; you have to do your CBT first, which is compulsory bike test. So it's basically you learn the basics so that you can ride a 125 safely on the roads for 2 years. And you don't do like a full theory test, but you do a basic safety written test to check that you know the rules and stuff and what you should wear and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you do riding and maneuvers around a car park and things like with traffic cones and stuff like that. And then you take for a ride out on the road. It's only like a 1-day course thing.
Yeah, so we do that to get our bike license, but in Australia it's not standardized, so it depends on what state you're in. So Queensland is actually really tricky to kind of get your bike license because everywhere else you do that test. Yeah. You get your L's, and then you just have to ride a learner approved motorcycle, so it's a power to weight ratio thing. But you go do that, and you're on the road, but you're on your L's for whatever it is, 2 years. In Queensland, you have to either be riding with someone that has their full open bike license, or being tailed in a car by someone that has their full an open motorcycle license.
Yeah.
So if you don't know people that ride and are willing to spend time out of their day to ride around with you, kind of good luck in Queensland, but the trade-off is you don't have a whole bunch of 17-year-olds on leader bikes putting themselves through family windows. So that's good.
Well, over here, you have to, you can either, everyone has to do the CBT so they can ride a moped or a motorbike.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do that, then you can only ride a maximum 125 or maximum equivalent power bike.
Yep.
And you can either ride that for 2 years, but if you're over 21, then you can then go and do your full bike license. So you can ride any size bike.
Yep.
So I went from not having ever ridden a bike to doing my CBT, then doing my theory test, and then doing my slow maneuvers test, because you have to do 3 tests for your full license in the UK.
Mm-hmm.
So you do your slow maneuvers, which way you do your swerve test, your emergency stops, and things like that.
Yeah.
And then you do your road test. So I did all of them, and then I went on to from a 125 to a 600.
Yep.
The swerve test is what was originally called the elk test, but because it was a European test, so they had to translate the speed over. So it worked out at 32 miles per hour instead of 30 miles an hour. And you had to go around this curve of cones, and then at the end of the curve, you have to swerve between 2 cones, and then stop and swerve back, and then stop with your front wheel in the box. And if you stopped with, if you went past that box, or you missed or hit any of the cones, then you failed.
Yeah.
So I went round the first time, and he measured my speed through the speed gate, and he went, "No, you got one more chance because you're only doing 20 miles an hour. So you're going to have to go faster." I was like, all right. So I just went, hell, I'll just go for it. And I just opened it up as much as I could safely. And I went round, and I stopped with my back wheel in the box instead of the front wheel. And I said, I failed. And he went, technically, yes, I should fail you. However, you were going through that speed gate at over 50 miles an hour. So the fact that you didn't go through the fence, let alone stop with the front wheel in the box, is a miracle. He said, so I'm going to pass you for that. He said, you should have gone straight off the car park, the speed you were going. I was like, woohoo!
I could imagine.
Julian says, 2 motorbike related incident. Paralympian Chris Hallam is one due to a bike accident. EMTs found one of his vertebrae in the tailpipe of his bike. Delightful. Thanks for that, Julian. Second motorbike story. I was in hospital with a guy who had seen a bike accident. The police went to pick up the guy's helmet, then found his head still in it. Yes, that happens quite a lot. Tiff put the PayPal link in if you want to donate to the Tools Mods Heroes fundraiser. Thank you, modders. GM says, JT, you would be surprised how much you don't know. Learning never stops on the road. It's true. JT says, I'm realizing that. I realize I can do something about it. Yeah. Had nightmares of being impaled on a deer's antlers in a car. Yeah, that wouldn't be fun. And he says, no. GM says, Mikey had a collection of X mirrors from cars. Those BMW mirrors are expensive. Yes, they were. And I'm sure he was real happy about it. And it served him right. JT says, this was a great stream. Thanks, Mikey. All the best to John and Gary Morris. Yeah, Tim made the show today, I think. Well done, Tim.
Nah.
You kept the conversation flowing.
Julian says, shut up.
Julian says, when I passed my test, I think you were born, Mikey, 1998. No, that'd make me 27. I'm 37, 88, buddy. My dad told me to drive as if everyone else was an idiot and about to do something extremely stupid. He was right, and I stopped driving in 2016. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
He also says, also, after I passed my driving test, Dad said, now you learn to drive. In other words, drive and pay attention to what's the outside the car. Yes. Joe says, okay, all gotta load up wife's car with closed donations. See you guys tomorrow. See you later, buddy.
See you, Joe.
June says, delightful. You're welcome, Mikey. Dave says, thanks, enjoyable stream. Catch tomorrow. Take care. See you later, buddy. And JT says, Timmah is the man.
JT is the man.
Oh, yeah.
I'm terrible at accepting compliments. So, yeah, mirror. Anyone says anything nice, I'll just deflect.
Just accept it, woman. Accept it.
I will not.
Accept it.
Yeah, thank you very much for having me again for another Desert Wings.
It's all right.
Getting this 110 together, but I'm very much looking forward to getting some paint on it.
Nice. Excellent. Right. Back tomorrow. I don't know. I'm hoping Wait Rose will be with us. Not sure if Gary will be with us. Depends how he feels. Obviously, I don't think John will be. But I will be. And I'm sure Tim will be.
Yeah, I'll let you know because that family stuff might pop up. But yeah. Otherwise, I'm probably more help here.
Yeah. June says, great stream, everyone. Cheers, buddy. Doug says, great show. Hope everyone has a wonderful day. Awesome. So don't forget to join us at 12 till 2 tomorrow for the Jag Panther build. Until then, Hulvar for now.
See ya.
No, Tim, I don't want to see your elephant.